Hello, I'm responding to a question that's made by Brenda Dobbin and comparing, under her post, comparing some East Coast and West Coast differences. They've asked, my question is, since Portland is such a melting pot, what other cultural differences have people experienced here about other Americans? And has anyone else experienced cultural norms that would be seen as positive in one culture but negative in another, like my volume experience? Okay, so I've spent some time in Portland, and um, as a young adult, I was able to explore some more and learn about other people's cultures. I've learned about my own as a Vietnamese person because I grew up going to Sunday school and I live with my family, and there's a huge uh, community of Vietnamese people, and I have a lot of relatives here as well. Um, as for experiencing other people's cultures, it was really indirect, basically meeting people from my schools, elementary school up to high school here, having friends that are African American, other types of Asians, and some of my friends who are white. But I remember keeping to myself primarily and my Asian friends back in high school. And so I didn't really experience much until I was a young adult and started going to like restaurants and going to what is it, Oktoberfest, for example, those types of events out there. And then I moved and spent about like 5, 6, 7 years out in Oklahoma. So I did most of my exploring of other cultures out there. Have I ever experienced cultural norms that be seen as positive in one culture but negative in another? Yes. I'm Vietnamese, and our people tend to have a sense of value for collectiveness, if that's the right word. And I remember my former partner being raised primarily by his Caucasian family members, having more individualistic values. So they conflicted now and then. That's not to say that, my being from a collective culture is a flaw, because, there's pros and cons to every type of value or cultural norm. And I remember thinking, oh, it's just a learning experience being able to live with someone who has different values, more leaning towards being individualistic and learning about my own strengths and ability to live life easier in a collective group or family. So I see the pros and cons of both. So thanks for letting me answer this question. It's been a good opportunity to learn and reflect some more.